Hey guys, my name's Jack, and today I'm going to be showing you guys our bumper build. It's a move bumper, as you can tell by the title, and we built it for my GMC Sierra 1500, as you see in the picture, and we're going to go ahead and jump to the table of contents. Alright, so here's the table of contents. Feel free to skip around throughout the video and kind of go for what you want to look at. It is a long video. It's almost 30 minutes, I believe. It's a lot of content. And you're also going to hear my voice randomly as I'm narrating most of the clips that I think need a background story on as far as talking, because you're going to see a lot of filming but not much talking. So I pretty much cut the audio in most of the clips, and I'm just going to narrate over the top of them. And if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. I will answer every single question that you have. So don't be afraid to write anything. So let's get to it.
All right, so here's all the metal that your bumper should come with. It's not a lot of stuff. What I recommend having is a buddy and all his stuff, because it makes it a lot easier. Wow. Obviously a welder,
So we already took off my front bumper, all those plastic pieces, everything was off. It was fairly easy and fairly simple. You can look at YouTube videos for it. And we put the bracket on my truck, and we're just fitting everything to it right now just to see what it would look like. We have the main piece up on a jack with the position, and we're just trying to see how it's supposed to be welded. We're trying to figure out if it's welded, if it's supposed to be on the outside or the inside, and where we're supposed to weld it exactly centered and all that. Trying to make it right. I think that's the hardest part with this whole bumper build that we did, was just making sure everything was centered and making sure everything fits correctly, which was not that big of a deal. But as you guys can tell, we made a mistake. We messed up right here. We welded it, but we put the brackets on the inside of the bumper because we couldn't find with the, see how it's on the inside right there to the left, and we had it on the outside just a second ago. We tacked it. It's not going to fit right. So we actually had to just put them on the outside, and we re-welded it, and it was fine. So make sure those on the outside, not the inside. So after we fix that middle piece, now we're just welding the side pieces on and adding everything on. We're just tacking right now. You don't want to lay down some serious welding beads and have to cut those out because you did something wrong. So it's easiest just to tack them for now and make sure everything fits correctly, and then either take the bumper off and weld the beads, or just weld the beads on your truck as is. It's not really going to do any harm. I didn't do much harm, if any, to my truck while laying down a lot of welding beads near it. You can always cover your truck if you feel that's necessary, but at the same time, it's not too big a deal. So you can see we're laying down some tacks right now, just fitting everything up.
Wait, what about the brackets though? What brackets? We're gonna take the bumper off to hold it? Yeah. So we do this? That's some like rack shit right there. Probably do that. It's not gonna look too bad at all. Just tell me what. fine, yeah, but once you weld it, you won't notice. Yeah. Not bad. That's fast. How long has that thing been recording for? She's been recording for like 6 minutes. Here, come here. Put this on. You watch it. Here, I'll scan it. Put this on.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. It's sick.
It's really sweaty in here.
I wonder why. Sometimes the feeding sucks.
It's not bad though.
I know. I can adjust it. I thought I smelled something burning.
Wait, show it again.
You're still burning, yeah. Yeah, you're still on fire. You want me to pee on it?
Oh my god. Alright, so last time you guys saw this bumper, I don't remember what it was, but so tack this thing up and kind of welded in some parts and grinded some parts smooth, but what I'm going to do is now is, you can tell there's a gap here, which I like, but there's not a gap here. And pretty much need to do that to this side. So there's like little to no gap. There's a little bit now, I guess, but it must have moved. Need to make a little bit more room. I think. So we're gonna go ahead and grind that down a bit. I'm gonna fill this thing in too, I think. I'm gonna weld into that, fill that in. And then, yeah, so, I don't know, let's get to it.
So some of you might be asking, what is he welding right now? These are little gussets that we made. They don't come with the bumper. These are extra. We just cut out these little triangle-like shapes to fit to the metal, and it pretty much reinforces the bumper itself. It just adds a little bit more stability and strength to it. So if anything were to happen, worst case, you know, it's got some strength behind it. So, you know, if I hit something or run into something, you know, it's not going to collapse as easy. So kind of just a reinforcing thing. You don't have to do this. You know, whatever you want to do to your bumper is entirely up to you. But we just decided just to put this in for good measure. There's a lot of other things you can do to your bumper. You can also, you know, put some side pieces right there and make that hang lower. See where that blue is right there, or that green. You can put a piece of metal right there. That's what I was referring to, hanging lower. It just has a little bit more support for underneath your truck. So if you ever, you know, got a rock from a semi truck or something, it's not going to penetrate underneath your truck as easy because you have a little bit more drop and it covers the front end more. You guys will see later in the video what I mean. But yeah, so he's just filling in the gussets right now, welding those in. What I'm showing you guys right now is just some grinded down metal. This was the welds that we were doing, and it's pretty much just making it smooth, kind of contouring to the metal. I used an angle grinder with a sander on it, and it was a little rough for the metal. I probably would have had a higher grit, or maybe even resorted to something, you know, that would have not as, I guess, deep as it went, but we live and learn, I guess. And here's the welds that we did on the bumper, and I'm just trying to clean them up right now and seeing what I need to fill in. This was kind of just like a base clean just to see what we missed as far as welding goes, because you know, we welded in the wind and this and that. Sometimes you miss stuff, and yeah, so we pretty much, it was nice to have a welder with me, SP75 I think, or 175, I can't remember. Lincoln welder, nice to have while you're cleaning up your bumper, so you can lay down some quick beads. They have more fill in, so everything looks nice, looks better, and that's what I was pretty much doing in these clips, was just filling in and then grinding it down. This is the wheel that I was using. So yeah, and then right now I skipped ahead, so we jumped pretty far here. So see those pieces he's welding right now. That piece right there that's standing up, and the bead he was laying down right now. Those are pieces that I made. We're also filling in the Move logo, as you can see. But that piece that he's welding right now is what we made. It was what I made right here. It's just totally gapped. I ended up losing those pieces right there, so I just kind of made my own. And I didn't measure anything, didn't have time, just kind of, you know, cut metal with my angle grinder and just said, oh, it kind of fits, and just tacked it with TIG because I didn't have MIG at the time. I was just trying to get this thing done. So it looks like crap right now. That's why we got a welder. We're going to fill in these gaps just like he's doing right now. We're going to fill that stuff in, and we're also going to fill in the logo and make this thing look pretty. So as you guys just saw, we filled in the logo, and we're just pretty much grinding it down right now with the sander. Gonna see what we need to fill in. Like I said, it's nice to have a welder at hand while you have an angle grinder, because you can grind things down. Say there's a little hole here you want to fill in real quick, or something you missed. It's just really nice to have, especially when you're laying down some weird welding beads like this. You know, it's not ideal. It's not an ideal situation where you have to stack welds on top of each other like this just to fill it in. There was a probably different measure I would have taken. I would have gotten like a pretty thin piece of steel and just laid it on top and welded it and just kind of grinded it to the metal. I think that would have been the best bet. But you know, we like to take things a long way and difficult way, so that's what we did in this video. And yeah, so he's gonna keep grinding that thing down until it's smooth. There's the grit that we used, and here it is, pretty much grinded down. It looks alright, it's not bad, you know. I just didn't want the logo on it, but we're going to try to fit it to the truck real quick. And as you can tell in this clip, we fitted it to the truck, make sure everything fits. We got super lucky, or I got super lucky with those pieces that I made under the grill that he was welding that had the really big gaps. I did those with no measurement. I didn't even know if those were going to fit. I'm just surprised that they fit like really close like that. I was just like, okay, because all I did was line it up with the metal the way it was pointed, because it was kind of bended on the inside, and I just matched it to that angle, hoping that it would have enough space left in it. It fit pretty good, so I'm super pumped on that and how that came out.
Just pull the whole thing. Oh no. Looks like a candy dispenser from the 70s. Sounds like a microwave. I should have brought some popcorn. Oh shit, oh shit. Dude, let her eat.
So this is kind of funny. His MIG ran out of gas, and my MIG was not with me, and it ran out of gas as well, and well, it ran out of welding wire, and it wasn't with me, so we pretty much had to go back to stick welding. So it was kind of funny. We laid down some beads here, stick welding. So it was kind of funny. This bumper's seen TIG welding, MIG welding, and stick welding. So this thing's seen it all pretty much. Now I'm getting to the painting process after I cleaned everything up. I just got some auto primer filler and just sprayed a few coats on it. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. Just kind of did this in my driveway. But it looked pretty good in primer. Nice and white, or gray, I guess you could say. And it looked, you know, not the best as far as the middle pieces go. Like, you can see where we grinded down some stuff, but I'm not a perfectionist when it comes to my own metal. Like, it's probably going to get dented and scratched and stuff like that. So I'm not a pavement princess, I guess you could say. I got the insides all sprayed up too. You know, you don't want anything. You don't want any bare metal showing. You don't want any rust. So pretty much just covered everything with primer to make sure everything's sealed. It took me pretty much a full day to primer this thing, between letting it dry and this and that, and laying down more coats. You can see it's a little rough where the logo was. Probably could have used a little bit, you know, less of a grit. But I used 1,000 grit for kind of just filing or just sanding down pieces of it and making it a little bit more smooth. So I got some paint now, some spray paint. That's how we do it around here. It's some rust enamel, or rust tough, yeah. I don't know, I couldn't read it. I was trying to read my own zoom in. Rough tough, or I don't even know what it said. But yeah, so pretty much did this all day. I don't recommend painting in the grass because it's a pain in the ass and it sucked. But this was pretty much the only option I had. I was not allowed to spray paint around the house, so, and I really wanted to get this thing done, so I just used the lawn as my last resort. And yeah, so we pretty much put a few more coats on it, kind of let it dry. I think I painted this over the course of 2 days, and I started clear coating it on the second day with what I'm showing you guys right now. Just put a few coats of clear on it, kind of made it a little shiny. As far as painting goes, I'm not a painter, but there's a lot of things I want to do differently, but I just couldn't do it because I didn't have the time, and I didn't have the money, and I didn't have the place to do it. So this was my only option. So the clear coating, the painting, all by spray, which I mean I would like to powder coat this thing, but honestly, I'd rather just do it in my own time. And here's the thing fitted to my truck. You guys can see it. Looks pretty good. I'm actually kind of happy the way it came out. I thought it might be a little bit funky or something. The paint's still drying. I got really anxious and impatient and just decided to just throw it on the truck by myself, which I don't know how I didn't die, but we put it on, or I put it on, and it fits pretty good. It looks good. Paint's still drying, that's why it looks kind of weird, but it fit nice. You guys can tell where I was talking about underneath, putting a little bit more of a support piece. You can see I think that's my my windshield wiper fluid. But it just protects underneath more. That was something I'd like to do, but I just, it's not going to kill me, so I didn't actually do it. But I'd like to cover my underneath a little bit more. I might put something like a piece of plastic or something, just for good measure. It doesn't hurt to cover up the insides a little bit, just in case, because there is more exposure on this bumper underneath than the stock OEMs. It has more cover on the OEM bumpers. This one looks more of like I guess like a pre-runner style bumper, but it fits really nice. I like how tight it is, and yeah, so if you guys have any questions or comments, let me know in the comments, and I'll respond to every single one of you guys. And here's underneath, there's definitely a lot of exposure, but I'm not too worried about it because I will put a piece of plastic or something just to kind of fill that in or cover that stuff up a little bit, so just in case, no rocks or anything gets in there and cracks anything, or, put some damage in there. But thanks guys for watching, and stay tuned for some more videos.